Tirtha Yatra. We have two words, Tirtha, Kshetra. Tirtha means it corresponds to the port. If the river is flowing, there are particular points where the boats dock. So that is the places where we have some facilities. Athaika Buddhanam Tadhi Tirtham. Tirtha also stands for Jnana. It's another name. That is the reason we have the name of Tirtha in the Guru Parampara of sannyasis. Shankara Tirtha, Bharati Tirtha, Abhinava Vidya Tirtha, Narahari Tirtha, because they stand for the concept of jnana, dissemination of the sacred knowledge. Tirtha. For the continuation of jnana upadesha, dissemination of the sentences of wisdom, the learned scholars, the learned ascetics, they used to choose these particular points on the banks of river so that their nitya anushtanam, their daily rituals are not affected. Therefore, the tirtha is very important. Why it is important is by the incidence of the learned souls around that point. And why did they choose that particular point is because of the location where the earlier celestials, earlier sages, they had performed the penance, puja, tapasya at that particular point. Therefore, the deities have manifested at that particular point. Therefore, we have the location of the Devasthana, Devakshetra, and the sages, and their followers are their parampara. The pantheon is still very much present. That is the reason the tirthas are very important. What about Kshetra? Kshetra is a place which is very powerful. For example, the Vaidyanath Kshetra. If it is not located correct exactly on the river point, it can be called as Kshetra. Kukuteshwara Swami Kshetra. So there are several such Kshetras which are not located on the banks of river. So Tirtha and Kshetra. Kurukshetra is one important place. So these are the Tirtha and Kshetras. And how important they are for us. And what is the role of pilgrimage? Pilgrimage would actually affect our life in 2 or 3 manners. The first one is, it is actually inducing you to take a break from your daily routine. Most of the time we get so much engrossed in our daily routine, stating that these particular daily activities are paramount, and if we stop it, the entire world will collapse. That would be our natural feeling. We tend to recognize the fact that if you are absent from this world, nothing is going to happen. The world will function as on its own. And you are a very teeny, minuscule particle in the grand scheme of the God. We never realize that, because we have a very small bubble which we call it as our world. So we are totally engrossed. So the Tirtha Yatra induces you to take a break from this thing. Whenever there is a break from your routine, you actually improve your life. This is the first one. The second one is, you are tuned and you are very much accustomed and acquainted with a level of comfort. This comfort zone is always trapping you in its fold. So you have to come out of your comfort zone. If you need to do something extraordinary, you need to do something. If you need to achieve anything extraordinary, you have to do something extraordinary. If you do ordinary activities, you can't expect extraordinary results. So for you to break from this monotony, you have to come out of the trap. For that, the yatra would always help you. That is how we should help ourselves. This is the second one, second aspect. The third one is the dana. Whenever you travel, you spend. What do you spend for? You spend for your comfort or you spend for something else? Other than your comfort, there are many more important things, including charity. Once you start giving something, you would actually pick up the habit of enjoying your charities. Once you see the happiness of someone receiving something from you, then you will have that addiction. So Tirtha Yatra is very important point to get you that addiction, which is actually increasing your meritorious balance for the next journey of our life or the next birth, something like this. The fourth one, as I said, when you have the company of holy masters, certainly your level of understanding about all the mundane things, all the worldly things, that would totally that would change. The transformation is very much required for us, because otherwise we are always trapped in the circle. First we have it, just acquire some property and have some children there, and just you want to get everything in their name, and finally if they don't listen to you, then you get again unhappy. So this, you are always got in the, you are getting caught in this circle. For you to escape this, you need to break the monotony. For this, Tirtha Kshetra Yatra is very essential for everyone.
What about the fact that they say your sins will be lost if you go to Tirtha Yatras, Punya Kshetram and all that? Is that true or?
Okay. Papakshayam. Papakshaya. That is obliteration of all your sins. See, this has to be taken with a pinch of salt. For that, I will actually give an example given by Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji in one of his discourses. The same question was posed by Mother Goddess Parvati Devi to Shiva. These many millions of pilgrims are thronging all the ghats of Varanasi. I am really curious to know how many people get liberated from their sins and how many people realize this. That was the question posed by Mother Goddess. Shiva said, okay, why don't we enact a skit? And Shiva himself has assumed the form of a dying beggar. Of course, a Brahmana who was almost on the deathbed. And he has descended on that bed, which was placed right on the banks of Ganga river. And Parvati was transformed to a wailing old lady, fearing for the life of her husband. So Shiva has asked her diligently and politely, you just tell anyone, just one request. Today is Mahashivaratri. All of you have taken bath in Ganga. No doubt you are all purified. Please bring one spoonful of water, one uddharana full of water from the Ganga, and pour that spoonful of water in the mouth of my husband, because he is very old. I too am old to descend to the river. So therefore you will get meritorious. But there is one small condition. If you are fully satisfied that you are totally purified from all your sins, then this would help. If not, that would take out your life.
Oh.
From morning to Lingodbhava Kala, the sacred couple, the holy couple of Shiva Parvati were just waiting. Thousands of people came, millions of people came. No one had the guts to pour a small water for this thing. There is a wonderful poem in Sachidananda Nitimala. Gangagha hartriti vadanti vacha swan snana potan abhimanvateno. Ganga aghahartri. Ganga annihilates all our sins, all our papas. They are washed away. That is the common refrain of everyone who is doing a pilgrimage. Swan, Snana Potan, Abhimanvate, no. But they don't consider themselves as totally pure. Pure from all the blemishes and all the sins. No one would consider themselves because they are doubtful. They are doubtful about the Tirtha Yatra and the Tirtha Snana that they have conducted. Bhavaskya Shuddhir Yadi Nasti Teva. Gangadharo Naiva Punati Ganga. If you don't have the purity of intention and purity of intellect, then not Ganga, not even Gangadhara would be able to cleanse you. So therefore, your intention of keeping yourself sinless, spot clean, that is very, very important. If it means that Papakshaya means during the conduct of the Tirtha Yatra, generally you refrain from adding any negative balance in your life. So you are not doing, you are not making any more papas. So that itself is it's a perennial action, because not even nahi kaschit kshanamapi jato tishtat nyakarma kurta. Not even for a single moment you can remain aloof from any action. So each action could either be detrimental or positive. We don't know, because some of the action are pure and positive from your side, but they will have detriment. They would be to the detriment of others who are around you. So exactly you can't know. We can't analyze them. At least your intentions would be pure and you are protected for that part. So therefore, the Papakshaya happens indirectly, not directly, because you are not doing any Papa extra. But we should also appreciate the fact that by conducting many Punya Karma, your Papa is not going away. It is not just like the bank balance. If you have some deficit, if you put money, then the deficit won't be covered. You can see the example of Yudhishthira. After having conducted many rituals, still he had to undergo the Papa of saying Ashwathama Hatah Kunjaraha. Deliberately he concealed that information, which led to the death of his guru. So therefore, the punya is one side and papa are one side. We have to undergo the results of both. So therefore, Tirtha Yatra helps us indirectly in the Papakshaya in maintaining it.